Hey guys, I'm back again. I'm sorry I didn't get with you guys last week, but I had to get a better understanding and be more prepared. So thank you guys for everyone who was asking about the videos. That encouraged me to keep on keeping on and keep on encouraging me. We're gonna be coming. Well, I'm gonna be coming from 2 Corinthians and 12, and this passage is about Paul's thorn. Um, the beginning of the chapter, it talks about Paul's talking about that God had given him revelations that no man had gotten before. They were extraordinary revelations. And verse 7 says, to keep me grounded and stop me from becoming too high and mighty due to the extraordinary character of these revelations. I was given a thorn in the flesh, a nagging nuisance of Satan, a messenger to plague me. God allowed Satan to give Paul this thorn. Paul prayed 3 times for God to remove it, but God did not remove the thorn. God's response was, my grace is sufficient for you. In another translation, it states that my grace is enough to cover and sustain you. And that God's power is made perfect in Paul's weakness. And we can put that in our lives today, that God's power is made perfect in our weaknesses. I think weaknesses serve a purpose. If it wasn't for weaknesses or trials and tribulations in our lives, we may not even communicate with God or pray or have that relationship with God. Romans 8:28 says that we know that all things work together for the good of those that love Jesus. We need to count it all joy, again, in James, that when we go through trials and tribulations, that it's gonna produce something in our lives. And so every time we go through things, we need to think about those scriptures for encouragement. The purpose of these thorns was, one, that Paul not to boast in those revelations, but he boasted in his weaknesses. My pastor said, and I thought about this, that it's easy for pastors and people that get an understanding of the word for you to sort of, I got it, I got to understand it, and y'all don't. It's sort of easy for you to think that way. And I actually struggled with that last week when I got an understanding. I don't want this to be like, oh, she knows this or she knows that, because the knowledge and the wisdom, God gave that to me, and even in my studying. And so that was the purpose for this thorn in Paul's life. Paul prayed to God about this thorn. If we have thorns in our lives, what are we doing? Are we complaining or are we praying? And another purpose of this thorn was to experience God's amazing grace. And one meaning of grace is it's freely given love and mercy. We don't deserve things that God do for us. We can't earn it. It's nothing I've done, but it was freely given to us. Well, to me, to us, to you, and we should thank God for his amazing grace. It's amazing. Let's not boast in the gifts and the revelations that God has given. God allowed Satan to give Paul that thorn. God had revealed extraordinary revelations. It's amazing that Paul, he boasted in his infirmities and his weakness. God allowed Paul's thorn, but he also equipped Paul and empowered Paul through his weakness. And that is amazing. And that's the same thing with us. God, he equips us and empowers us through our struggles, through our weaknesses. And again, there is purpose in our weaknesses when we go through things. So again, count it all joy. God can empower us in our most weakest moments. And I'm a witness, and all of us are witnesses. If you go back, look over your lives and think on the things that God has done for you, that we should thank God. We thank God what he brought us from, and it has taught us. I hope you guys got something out of this word. I know I did, and I still been thinking about it. And I thank God for giving me the wisdom and the understanding, even with this passage. And I pray that we can all apply it in our lives. Be blessed.